Student outreach. It's a significant part of what we do and continue to do very successfully in Kaplan Legal education. Moving forward, we have to re-examine the ways we've done things and look at ways of streamlining and making things a bit better. To accomplish this, we're going to look at a few things and ask the first obvious question, why bother? Does outreach work? Equally important is our documentation, the way we keep track of it, and look at some minor ways that we can enhance that moving forward. Additionally, we'll provide you with resources to look at the process and the expectations for outreach. Not much has changed except for Units 1 and 5, and those are explained in detail. Finally, we'll talk about next steps. So why bother? Well, we're dealing with people with everyday lives. Some of them make it, some of them fall off the map. But if you think for a second, all the calls that we make do add up. What would happen if we could save 2 people in each class each term? What do you think that would look like for our entire department? If each person can engage or save 2 students per term, and that's just in our department, we'll change the life path of 150 students in a positive way. That's a lot of people. Now think about in one academic year what that would mean. We could change the life path of 750 students in a positive way. So why are we bothering? We're creating a trace. We're tracking student progress. At a quick glance, your chair, yourself, and any other person at Kaplan University can quickly see a student's progress through your outreach. Simultaneously, we're generating opportunity and confidence in students themselves. By speaking with them one-on-one, we're cultivating a rapport where there's mutual respect and they don't want to disappoint us and vice versa. Finally, it shows that we realize that students need us and we need them just as much. Overall, there are 2 points to outreach. These elements are to 1, make contact with the student, 2, come together and make a plan for catching up all missed work. To make this possible, we do need a uniform, standardized process that is readable not only for your chair and yourself, but for other administrators that may take an at-a-glance look at your gradebook. Most of these will remain the same, but the handout that you were given with this presentation shows each one in much more detail. Please take a moment to take a look at that. Now this is where the enhancement comes in, where it gets interesting. We're currently recording the types of outreach we're doing, but we want to be able to take one look at the gradebook and at a glance be able to know what the result of that was without actually going into the notes. Digging into the notes is very time-consuming and necessary at times, but it is helpful if we have a further designation. To do this, we have implemented a new system with 3 simple letters that can show us what happened. For example, if you make a phone call to a student and you were able to make contact with them and make a specific plan with them to make up their work, you can simply put a C after that. As you can see in the example below, there is a P for pending. That lets us know that you made phone contact with the student, but that their work is still forthcoming. And to find out more details, all we have to do is look into your comments. Implementing these will be a little bit of an adjustment, but in the long term it will definitely be much more effective for yourself and for all involved. Again, this is detailed more specifically and in much more detail in the quick reference handout that you've been given. I encourage you to read that thoroughly so you completely understand what it is that we're trying to accomplish. Next, let's take a look at a few examples of what is and is not appropriate and effective given this new form of documenting our outreach. And here are two good examples, or acceptable examples, of this enhanced documentation. As you can see, the type of outreach has been shown. In the first one, we see it was a phone, and we see that contact was being made. Second one, we see that during seminar, contact was made. When looking at the entire gradebook, we should be able to see that each of these students have been contacted during that week. The comments, when opened up as shown here, give much more specific details about what's happening with each student. Here are two quick unacceptable examples. A quick glance says this looks fine, but take a closer look and you'll see what's wrong. Likewise, a look in the gradebook for outreach in Unit 2 for this class shows that perhaps too much was recorded. Remember, we only want to record what is being done for our failing students. Recording all outreach negates what we're trying to do. The process isn't streamlined, and it is confusing for all involved. Overall, there seems to be some ambiguity in exactly what you're supposed to be doing week to week with outreach. That's the entire purpose of this initiative. We want you to be clear of your expectations. We want you to effectively use your time and ultimately to effectively help our students attain success.